From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Your weekend weather update is made possible by Caltrans District 2. Happy holidays from Weather NorCal and our sponsors. Have a wonderful holiday season.
Well, happy Saturday morning to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger in for Chase Wilson this morning. He'll be back at noon and this evening. Now, before we get to the forecast, for those of you that are new to Weather NorCal, I want to remind you there's a free Weather NorCal app. And I know there are a lot of weather apps out there, but what makes this one unique is the fact that it's hyper local. It's all about Weather NorCal. It's all about Northern California in general. And everything I have to offer here at Weather NorCal can be found right there on your phone. So check it out. If you don't like it, you can take it off the phone, no big deal. You're not even going to get charged for it ever. That's the also cool part about it as well. Hey, take a look at some of the peak gusts we've seen in the last 24 hours. We did get over 40 and even 50 miles per hour for some of us in the valley here. Some power outages for parts of Northern California over the last 24 hours as well. We could be looking at more here through the morning hours, but there you can see some gusty winds off to the east as well. Now, looking at the rainfall totals over the last 3 days, you can see we are approaching that 3-inch mark here for the Redding area. Not quite as much down to the south, but still very impressive totals nonetheless. Look at that over Crescent City, 3.39. One of the winners here is out in Hoopa at 3.57. Now, we do have more rain today, and we're going to get a bit of a break here tomorrow, but then there's going to, adding on to this, as we go into your Sunday night and into Monday as well. All right, let's get you through Krueger's Quickcast. Just for a quick look at the forecast for today, the elements that I'm really monitoring here is, of course, the flood watch in effect until 3 o'clock today. There are winter storm warnings here for many parts of Northern California. Also the wind advisories. Now, these have been allowed to expire for Del Norte and Humboldt County as the winds have pretty much died down there. It's still breezy, but not as bad. Until noon today and until 7 o'clock this morning for that high wind warning for central Siskiyou County and also till 7 a.m. for Modoc County as well. There's a flood alert, a coastal flood warning for the coast here. Your typical areas, especially during these king tides, where you can see some of that flooding along the coast here. This will be in effect until noon today. All right, so let's get you out the door here for this morning. Maybe you're going to be heading out and about. Do want to remind you that as you can see, it's wet. It's also going to be snowy in the higher elevations. That means there are going to be most likely chain requirements over some of those higher mountain passes. So you can see the cold front that's been passing through. This is really what's generating those very strong winds that we've seen. As this exits to the east, the winds start to die down. But now we're going to be behind the cold front, and that's why it's called a cold front, right? Because behind it is the colder air. Snow levels will start to drop. We'll also be looking at the potential for thunderstorms developing behind it as well. Here's the break that we have for most of us on Sunday, and I'll say that, and we'll look at the deeper dive. You'll see what I'm talking about. And then there you can see that next system coming in Sunday night and into Monday. All right, so let's take a look at Futurecast here for today. Here's 6 o'clock this morning. We're going to advance through time here and take you to about 9 o'clock. We're still looking at that last round of some moderate to heavy rainfall in the valley here. Pretty steady rainfall, as a matter of fact. We're going to be looking at snow up around Mount Shasta and even around I-5. There could be some more chain requirements there. Heavy snow off to the east. You're going to be dealing with chain requirements there as well. And if we head off to the west here, we're getting close to Buckhorn Summit. We're getting close to Oregon Mountain. You're going to need to check those latest conditions if you are traveling this morning. By noon, most of the rain and snow is just east of the valley, but still some leftover showers. Now, what you're seeing here, remember I was talking about a more cold and unstable atmosphere on this afternoon. Behind that cold front, that's what we're dealing with here as we go through the afternoon. Here's about 5 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. We're starting to dry things out, even some clearing for the valley. And we could be looking at even though Futurecast isn't showing it, there could be some afternoon thunderstorms as well. And then by tonight, yeah, a few leftover flurries here and there, especially out towards Del Norte County, but it's that drying trend as we go into Sunday. All right, some of the chain requirements this morning. There were chain requirements last night and early this morning on I-5. They've been lifted. We may see them get reissued here as we go later on this morning. morning. But there you can see some of the road conditions in at least the forecast. And you can see, looking at some snow around Mount Shasta again. And that's even around noon, 1 o'clock this afternoon here. And of course, plenty off to the east here as well. We take you into tonight and early, tonight at about 8 p.m. Look at that, more snow possibly on I-5 to the east here as well. And then we go into tomorrow morning. It may actually still linger in some areas, even though most of the rain and snow will be gone. There may be some leftover snow that we'll have to contend with. All right, let's take a look at the winds here. Now, the winds have been very gusty. We've seen power outages as a result. By noon, we're starting to see the winds die down. Still a bit breezy for the valley and down to the south and east. But as we go into later this afternoon and tonight, for the most part, the winds are starting to die down. Much calmer winds in store for us. All right, so here's your forecast for your Saturday. Temperatures in the low 50s here for the valley. We've got 20s and 30s for the higher elevations. And for the coast, we're looking at temperatures somewhere in the low 50s for your daytime highs. Here's a look at your 7-day outlook. Now, I've got you dry on Sunday, but there are going to be some clouds coming in off and on through the day, especially by the second half of the day. There could be some shower activity on Sunday late in the day for parts of the coast, inland, and even Trinity County. Otherwise, better chances for rain coming in on Monday. And now I'm seeing maybe some leftover moisture and maybe a little bit of leftover instability on Tuesday. So we can't rule out a stray shower even on Tuesday of next week. It's not until Wednesday, Thursday that will dry things out. But the coast, yeah, as early as next Friday into next weekend, maybe another chance for some rain. Taking a look at Siskiyou, Modoc, and the Eastern Mountains. Yeah, up towards Siskiyou County, Modoc County, there could be some late afternoon, early evening showers in advance of Monday's system. And then it looks like Eastern Mountains should be dry all day tomorrow. And then, of course, that better chance for rain and snow on Monday. Tuesday, again, some leftover activity here, but nothing significant. And then drying out for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All right, that's your quick cast before we get into our deeper dive forecast. Do want to remind you, of course, that I was telling you about the free Weather NorCal app. From the app, you can share your photos. And I want to see your storm photos, whether it's snow or wind damage, a downed tree, what have you, or just a beautiful shot any way you look at it, your pets. We'd love to see them all. All you have to do is just go to your iPhone or your Android into the Weather NorCal app, share it from the app, and before you know it, it is in my weather computer and we can share it across the board here. All right, let's get into that deeper dive forecast and get you right into the weather headlines. So we've got steady rain and snow that's going to turn over to scattered showers and possible thunderstorms here later this afternoon. Okay, so we've got the weaker winds this afternoon as well. So conditions for the most part are improving. However, there still are going to be a potential for some of those chain requirements through the day as these snow flurries pass on through. Now, there will be more rain, snow, and wind for some of us, not everybody. And when I say wind, for some of us, Sunday night into Monday, that's storm system number 3, by the way, which will be weaker than the one that's moving through now. And then a mainly dry for the rest of next week. And mainly dry, but again, we'll be talking about that in a little bit more detail as well. So there's storm system number 2. It's been a slow mover, but it's finally beginning to nudge itself off to the east. We've got this area of low pressure kind of separate from the main storm system. This is going to be that last push of that heavier rainfall that we will see here later on this morning. And then, of course, behind that, the cold and unstable air. This is storm system number 3, and that's what's going to bring us more rain come Sunday night and into Monday before we dry things out behind that. All right, so we talk about atmospheric rivers, and I don't want you to think that I'm using this as a scare tactic because, again, the media has taken the term atmospheric river and has used it to their advantage to try to get clicks, to try to get people to watch. I use it as an educational tool because it helps to explain the weather story, and that's what I do. I explain the weather story, and part of that weather story is indeed talking about the amount of moisture in the atmosphere, and part of that is from the term atmospheric river. Now, typically with atmospheric rivers, we see a thin column coming all the way from the tropics and then making its way into parts of Northern California, or really can aim itself anywhere on the coast here. Now what you're seeing here is you see a stream here and then kind of a break and then another stream. We did see a couple of days ago that nice steady stream and a lot of those oranges and reds indicating even more moisture. But what happened is this area of low pressure, the trough of low pressure, kind of cut it off from the main flow, kind of kinked it, if you will, but there still is plenty of available moisture that we did see. That's why it's considered a weak atmospheric river. This is shifting to the south, no longer an issue on Sunday, but then by Sunday night into Monday, we've got another very weak atmospheric river. Someone made the comment on, I think it was on Facebook and on YouTube, saying that instead of maybe calling it when it's weak, maybe calling it an atmospheric creek. But any way you look at it, there's not as much moisture as a stronger atmospheric river, and it doesn't stick around for as long, but it can give you, while it's aimed at us, it will give you that steady rainfall and, of course, that snow in the mountains. By the time we get to Tuesday, still a little kick of moisture coming through. That's why there's a slight chance on Tuesday. But then as we go through the rest of next week, Wednesday, Thursday, and most of us on Friday will be dry with the exception of the coast. And then on Saturday, next Saturday, a week from today, maybe a shot for some more rainfall. See, there you can see it right there, another atmospheric river. It's pointed more to our south, but it will bring us some more rain going into your Saturday. So let's talk about that. You know, a lot of people don't realize that atmospheric rivers have categories, from 1 to being the weakest to AR5, which is the strongest. We're nowhere near the strong or even moderate. So what we're looking at here is a weak to moderate here. That we did see last night. It's quickly dying down to no atmospheric river for this afternoon, Sunday, but by Sunday night into Monday, we're kicking up into a weak atmospheric river. You saw that there on the available moisture, and then of course it dies down. But you see the little leftover moisture we're seeing here on Tuesday. That's why we can't rule out a stray shower even on Tuesday before it then. We're no longer looking at an atmospheric river, but then you saw by Saturday, that should be over here, by the way. I meant to change that. That kind of moved over. That's Friday right here. But then by Saturday, you see how it's kind of notching back up. Now, most of it, again, is to the south, but there could be some more rain coming in toward the end of next week and into that next weekend. All right, so there is, because we are and have been dealing with that weak to moderate atmospheric river, you got the potential for flooding. And that's what we have here for today. And, you know, the thing is, the National Weather Service has taken out the chances for thunderstorms here in parts of the valley. But I still think, especially if we get that clearing, we could still see maybe a chance for thunderstorms. They backed off yesterday morning, then the afternoon they put it back over, and then they backed off again this morning. We'll see. I think the better chances will be to the west. I think that's a good representation, but I would like to maybe paint in more green, especially for the valley here as we go through the afternoon. It's not out of the question, and that's something we've got to watch for. Because, you know, I don't want you to be caught off guard, but do know that there is going to be that slight chance. Otherwise, just scattered showers. But not the case this morning, right? This morning, yeah, remember I was talking about that little area of low pressure you saw spinning off to our west? That's the last push of some heavier rainfall for this morning. And by the way, heavier snowfall too, because now at this point, we're behind the cold front. So snow levels are dropping and chain requirements on I-5 are still going to be a possibility through the morning. There you can see around Mount Shasta again. But now we're on the back edge of that cold front. We're still seeing a few showers here at noon for the valley, but west of that, things are drying out. Plenty of rain and snow, though, off to the east here. By this afternoon, we start to see it push off to the east. We're seeing clearing. And again, you see there's not a lot of instability. However, with the clearing skies, if we get enough of that daytime heating, we could see some afternoon showers and thunderstorms popping up for the valley. So Futurecast may not be picking up on that, but there is that potential. We've got the moisture in the atmosphere. There's still plenty of it. Even though the storm is moving out, there's still moisture available. And if you get enough clearing, that can set us up for what we call convective showers and thunderstorms. And that is, of course, through 6 o'clock today. Okay, we still got to get through a couple of days here, folks. All right, so let's go into tonight. We're drying things out, maybe a leftover shower or two out towards the north and west. But look at this too. There may be some patchy fog if we clear things out and the winds are calm enough. We could be looking at some fog here for parts of the Sacramento Valley and could get dense in some areas. So be aware of the fact that there could be some of that morning fog, but otherwise you can see dry conditions across the board. But there it is. As early as noon, we're beginning to see the beginning phases of Monday's system moving in. So by the afternoon, we may see a few showers for the North Coast, Trinity County, Siskiyou County, even Modoc County may see some late in the day. But I do expect that the valley eastward should be dry for the most part through the day tomorrow. But by tomorrow night, there's that cold front. There's the next storm system. It's going to bring us another round of rain. This one will be a faster moving system. So yes, there will be periods of that moderate to even heavy rainfall. And of course the snow too. This can create some more travel concerns Monday morning, right? A lot of times when people got to commute or get up to Mount Shasta or vice versa, coming back down from Mount Shasta, you could be running into some snow up there. And even on Highway 299 west around Buckhorn Summit. Then we go into noon on Monday, it's starting to break apart. It breaks apart even more at 5 p.m., but you see this? This is some of that leftover moisture and instability that could linger even into your Tuesday of next week. So forecast rainfall totals for today through Monday, I think we could pick up another inch to maybe a little bit more than that for some of us once all is said and done from now through 5 p.m. Monday, maybe a bit more out towards Crescent City, and of course typically seeing less out to the north and east. How much more snow can we pick up out of this? Well, through Monday, yeah, another 8 to 12 inches of snow is a possibility for Mount Shasta City. Probably not the case for Dunsmuir, maybe half that. Bernie could pick up a little bit of snow out of this as well. Not to mention Chester, and even Alturas may see some of that light snow. And if we can get the snow low enough for Weaverville, Hayfork, just a trace. But most likely you're not going to see much in the way of snow there. All right, what you're seeing here is basically at Fawndale this morning. They are checking for chains here. Otherwise, I'm going to take you back to the map here. A lot of chain requirements east of I-5, mainly Highway 36 west, but 299 at this point is clear. But just note that that can change here later this afternoon. Let's take a look at the forecast road conditions here through 3 o'clock this afternoon. You see there's still a bit of an opening there on I-5. Still not seeing a lot of snow there. And what's interesting, even though most of the rain and snow is gone, this model wants to pick up on maybe some more snow as we go into tonight and tomorrow morning. I'm a little hesitant to say that that's probably going to be the case here. So here's the bottom line. I can forecast the road conditions until I'm blue in the face like this map, right? But the thing is, these conditions change rapidly. And here's what I want to encourage you to do, especially if you have to travel in the mountains frequently, especially this time of the year. I've made a great page for road conditions. I want you to go to that because what's really great about it is, number one, there's a quick link to quick maps for Caltrans, right? And so you can check the latest road conditions. But number two, you know, when you're on the quick map, you got to just click on each, right? You have to click on each one. What I've done is you don't have to click on anything. You've got an image of the more popular Caltrans cameras right there on that web page, and you can very quickly at a glance check the latest road conditions and see what they're looking like, see what the roads look like from the Caltrans cameras. And by the way, this is not only available on the website, but you can get it from the free Weather NorCal app as well. It's a great resource if you're out and about and you just want to get a quick look, a quick glance at some of those more popular cameras. Hey, by the way, if you're heading out to the ski park, there's going to be more snow out there today, and through Monday you can pick up another couple feet of snow up there. Taking a look at the ski report, and these reports are as of last night, but you get the idea at the summit. Probably more than that because we saw a lot of snow last night, and of course we're seeing plenty of snow off towards a lot of those ski resorts that are in the Tahoe region as well. Let's take a look at your forecast wind gust. Yeah, 6 a.m. There it is. Those winds still pretty gusty out there, right? And then we go into the noon hour. Still a bit breezy, but we're beginning to see signs of the winds dying down through the day today. So that certainly is very good news. Now, Sunday, things get a little bit more interesting. We take you through the day. Winds pick up for the coast. Still not that bad anywhere else for the noon hour on Sunday. Picking up for Shasta Valley in central Siskiyou County. Gusty winds along the coast, but elsewhere, not that bad. Then we extend this on into Monday when the system's pushing through Sunday night into Monday. Pretty gusty winds along the coast. Very strong winds, especially central Siskiyou County. But elsewhere, again, not that bad, even for the valley. So the valley may be able to dodge these stronger winds. Yeah, the winds may pick up, may get a little breezy, but the strongest winds with storm system number 3, which again is Sunday night into Monday, will be for the coast, Siskiyou County, and some of those mountains east of the valley as well. And then Monday afternoon, the winds do start to die down again as the storm system, for the most part, exits the region. We talked about that coastal flood warning here for the coast here. Essentially, you've got the king tides going on. This has nothing to do with the rain that we're seeing. It's the gusty winds. It's the high king tides that we have out there. And for those of you that lived in the area for a long enough time, you know that we can get some of that flooding in some of those lower lying areas along the coast. So just be aware of that as we go through at least the noon hour today. Now we look at the wave heights. as we take you through 5 p.m. today, they're still looking pretty high out there, but it looks like as we go into Sunday, those wave heights are going to start to drop. So certainly some good news there. So your marine forecast for your Saturday, northwest winds at about 10 to 15 knots. There's your waves, your high, your low tide. And then we've got that small craft advisory. And that small craft advisory, by the way, is through today and even into tomorrow. All right, so here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Your temperatures mainly in the 40s. Again, late in the day Sunday. I think the first half of the day on Sunday for Trinity County will be dry. But by Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, maybe some showers kicking in. For the coast, dry for the first half of the day, maybe some showers on Sunday afternoon. And then Monday, more rain before we dry things out through the rest of next week, mostly. Right? You can see inland, maybe some showers, a chance for showers here on Tuesday, but otherwise mainly dry. Dry for the inland areas Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But again, for the coast, by Friday of next week, maybe a chance for some more showers. All right, here's your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s. Again, we've got maybe some showers late in the day tomorrow. And then dry for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. For Modoc County, maybe an afternoon, late evening flurry. Otherwise, better chances coming in Sunday night into Monday. Maybe a leftover shower or two on Tuesday, drying up for Wednesday through Friday of next week. Your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, I think it'll be dry all day tomorrow. Just those clouds kind of moving on in. Better chances for rain and snow Monday. And then Tuesday, leftover activity drying up for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Here's your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Walgamuth Painting. Your temperatures are going to be in the low 50s. 52 degrees for Corning, 51 degrees for Durham up north, 52 for Reading, 53 for Anderson. And again, we can't rule out a stray thunderstorm later on this afternoon, but we should be looking at dry conditions on Sunday. If we see a stray sprinkle on Sunday, all right, don't be surprised. But for the most part, it's dry tomorrow. We're getting a good break. We're getting a well-deserved break because we've got more rain coming in on Monday. Monday's system, yes, it's going to bring us some rain. It'll bring us some winds for the coast and some of the areas in Siskiyou County. But this system is not going to be nearly as strong as the one that's moving through today and, of course, moved through last night. Dry for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe some more rain by Saturday. That is your morning update. Of course, Chase Wilson will be back at noon and again this evening. Till then, have a great afternoon.